Wait lang, like
What just happened, guys?
I met Anne twice. Like
Your ultimate role model.
and I don't fangirl often at all. I don't have a lot of celebrities that I admire, and she's one of them, and I can't right now. I don't know.
Hi guys, it's Christine.
And it's Vince.
Welcome to SFC Live.
The whole SFC live cast went for a quick trip here in Calgary, and we're on our way home
Yep.
to Edmonton. And as part of our scheming plan, we are going to ambush our one and only mission volunteer as part of this cast. As you can see, she's not here yet because
Yep.
we're in her house. We're just waiting for her to come out.
Yep.
We're gonna ambush her and get to know her a little bit. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. So, this is actually an ambush interview. A GTK with Alodia.
A GTK with Alodia.
This is Alodia. Say hi.
Hi.
So, Alodia, tell us about yourself.
About myself?
Yes.
What about myself? Okay. I joined in 2000. I would say 11, 12 in SFC Calgary. I was away for a while and then I came back. Did a mission in Kenya and then got really into NCOP and then started becoming a household head and so on and so forth. And I applied for the mission volunteer program and moved to Edmonton and then became a household head here, and then I was assigned to Fort McMurray missions. The mission volunteer program is basically a discernment program. When you're in it, you are discerning to be full-time, a full-time pastoral worker for CFC
Like
ministries.
Kuya Jello.
Exactly. During my time, I think they've changed a few things, but you turn in an essay, there's an interview along the way with your AGT, but before the interview actually you have to be endorsed by your couple coordinators in your area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And this is your...
And you have to be a pastoral head.
Okay, so
You have to have
become
a household.
head.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And this is your third year?
Yeah, no, I'm finishing up my second year this month, this March.
Oh, okay. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
How's
So it's 2 year. It's a 2-year discernment program.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Lots of action. Lots of lessons. Very joyful. Probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. Lots of growth and lots of getting to know myself more in my relationship with God and the people around me in this community. Going to missions and meeting new people, I think that's one of the most enjoyable parts of being a mission volunteer. Definitely it's commitment and knowing also your limitations. The best part really I think is just being able to offer what you can to other people, to the missions, to the people that you pastor, the people that you want to train, or the people that are put under you, the people that you're responsible for. I was starting to reconnect with the Lord in a deeper level. So I went back to the community, and I think it really started when I went to Kenya. I only went because part of my passion is really to help kids. Like, I love children. The Lord really changed me in Kenya. I feel like He broke my heart in different ways to rebuild it again. So then when I came back, I was actually joking with my friend Diana, who is not an SFC. She's one of my closest friends, and she was checking up on me when I came back, and I said I'm so happy. I've never been so happy in my life in those 2 weeks that I was in Kenya. And it was really my first taste of mission. It was just like a deep joy. I don't know how to explain it. It was just an limited source of joy. It was hard. It was hard every day. You never really know what you're gonna encounter, but definitely was enjoyable. And then I joked with her and I said, I could get paid doing this, right? Like, there's a job that I could do just doing this. And we both laughed and I passed it off as a joke. And after a while, I just felt like, wait a second, maybe this is something I could actually do, that I kind of want to keep exploring. So I found out that the Mission Volunteer Program through a friend and through Ate Christine, who's a full-time pastoral worker, who was my buddy in Kenya, by the way, which is, the Lord is really hilarious. And so when they were putting together buddy systems in the missions, I was buddied up with her. And I asked fellow Calgarians in our group, like, who is Ate Christine? Who is Ate Christine? Oh, yeah, no, she's a full-time pastoral worker. I'm like, why? I don't know her, right? Because I thought that I'd be paired up with someone I knew. And so yeah, she was my roommate during the mission, and I saw firsthand what it was like to be a missionary, and she was a key figure in my discernment for sure. Yeah. And then that was it. I found out the Mission Volunteer Program. I prayed about it and I got excited every single time I had the thought of it, just because I wanted to know more. And then I applied after the 2017 International Conference called Icon in Iloilo, Philippines, and that was it. No, you don't.
Like, so you could be in any degree?
Yeah, you could have any degree, but you have to have some sort of education for sure. I think there's a minimal requirement for it. I have a degree in management.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And it's completely not social work.
No, it's not.
Like,
I have a degree in business, basically. Yeah.
It could be anyone.
It could be anything. What I mean by get paid for this is when it's turning into a full-time work. Not yet as a mission volunteer.
Right.
That's just the discernment phase. Oh yeah, and I should mention that mission volunteers don't quit their jobs. We actually have full-time day jobs and do the extra service allotted for this discernment program on top of our SFC service as well. Detaching from the people that you meet, I think, is you're not assigned to the same area all the time. Like, for example, I think when we were beginning Medicine Hat, I was facilitating 5 sisters, like 5 girls in Medicine Hat, and I got super close to a couple of them. And when I got assigned to Fort Mac, that was the first time actually, I think, that I felt like, oh, okay, like I can't, you know what I mean, like, because you can't keep being present there because it's not your area, right? Like, you were just there to help out. No, there's a bunch of us. So there's Mark Mirano in SFC Calgary, and there's Michael Cabahog as well in SFC Calgary. We're all the same batch together in Alden, but Alden is now in training. We have a few mission volunteers from YFC as well, all in Calgary. In terms of Alberta, I don't know of any mission volunteers in Edmonton. I think I'm the only one so far. To be exposed in the different service, different areas where we can serve in the ministry. One of the more enjoyable ones that I've done is serving at KFC conferences, the FamCon, the family conferences. That one is super fun to serve at. Just being exposed really to different ministries and to different people and to different places, and that helps in your growth as a person, in my faith, and in turn it helps my discernment, because it helps me see that there's a world outside of my little personal bubble, you know. I think there's a desire. I mean, for me, it was a desire. It was an excitement, the one that I mentioned earlier. Wherever you're at in your spiritual journey, the desire to know more, to know more about the mission, to know more about the ministry. For me personally, there was just an outpouring of wanting to give, to offer more of myself, because I felt like the Lord blessed me abundantly, that I felt like I needed to give, to share. My conversation with the Lord was, I want the whole world to know how loving you are. And if I could do it in the littlest way or the simplest way that you could allow me, that you could give me, then I'll take full advantage of it. My family was supportive, definitely, because they're in this CFC community as well. So they're not resistant, but they haven't fully understood yet until later on either. But there's definitely a difference in schedule. Like, there's less time with your family, there's less time with your friends outside of the community. It takes a bit of adjusting after a while, I would say. It takes a little bit of heartbreaks too, here and there, realizing that, you know, you gotta choose sometimes between two important things in your life. But obviously this community is all about family, so we always choose our families, right? I learned so much about time management here in this discernment program, because you realize, talking about limits earlier, you realize that there's only certain number of pieces in a pie that you could share. So you gotta be smart about how you allot your time and your resources as well, because as humans we only have this much energy and this much capacity. So you do the best you can. And in terms of my family, they're used to it now. Before, my mom would ask, like, where are you going again? Where are you going again? Right? Like, and then eventually when she figured out that, oh yeah, she's at a FamCon, or she's at a talk, or she's a CLP, or she's at a training, she's at a retreat, it's just how it is. A little bit, I'll be honest,
Like
because
secular friends.
yes,
right?
definitely. Now I don't get to see my friends outside of the community as often, and that's the part where there's a little bit of a heartbreak here and there, because you start missing them too. You start missing a part of your life that you used to have. But when you really want something, you know, you don't think about what you lose. You think about what you gain. You think about what you're accomplishing. And my friends, actually outside of the community, are very, very supportive. Amazingly enough, though they don't fully understand what this all means, what this ministry is, and what mission is, and a lot of them actually not even Catholics, but they are 100% supportive, and they're good friends. And you know, I get to see them maybe a birthday or some special event, but not like before where I get to text them as often as I can. I mean, I don't want to say that this is all because of the Mission Volunteer Program. Maybe I'm just like a really crappy friend who can't keep in contact with their friends, but my schedule gets filled very quickly with activities, and that leaves very little room for other things. Everything and anything. Expect to be taught, expect to learn new things, expect to get your heart broken a few times, not because of people or anything, but because you're learning things about yourself that you thought you knew, but you don't. Expect to grow deeper in faith. I think these expectations are all very much based on your posture too. Like, that's why I said expect anything and everything, because you know, your heart has to be open. Because if you're not open, then you can't expect blessings. You can't expect all these things because you're not allowing, right? So I suggest, before you expect, prepare your heart and prepare yourself. That's it. fun. Like, I think the Mission Volunteer Program is so fun. I know that I talked a lot about schedules and things like that, but man, like when you're in the throes, when you're right there, it's fun. It's enjoyable. It's quite an experience, and it's the 2 years of your life you probably will never forget. Don't know, I could continue being an MV because out of discernment that I should continue to become an MV, and also the discernment of my mentors and the people who are in the Mission Volunteer Program, or I could stop and just continue being your good old SFC ordinary citizen. Listen to that invitation. That invitation could be the start of many wonderful things in your life. If you don't have that desire yet, that's okay. Keep continuing what you ought to do, what you feel like, what you can do to be closer to God. But if you hear that voice, if you already feel that desire, listen to it. Listen to it and give yourself the chance to know it, to discover it, and to experience it. Because whether I end up a full-time worker after this or not, the Mission Volunteer Program is worth it. It's worth it to know that you have given yourself the chance, the justice to, you know, to discover what it's like to be in mission, to serve the ministry in different ways. Allow the Lord to shape your heart through this program. Allow Him to shape you in this program. This is one of the many places that He could shape you, He could change you, He could transform you, He could mold you to the person that He wants you to be, the best version of yourself, or on the way to being that best version. But definitely allow the Lord that. Allow the Lord to shape it. Offer it to Him. Join SFC. Mission is beautiful. Like what Jello said in his GTK, mission is totally beautiful. There's gonna be scary times, but there's a lot more joyful times, a lot more loving times. Mission is a place where you can feel the love of the Lord, and where you can share that love to God as well, to share that love to others. Because you know, you gotta check why you're doing missions, right? And if your heart is in the right place and it's aligned with the Lord's will, nothing can stop you. You'll continue. But if it's a calling for you, go for it. If it's not, that's okay, because your mission probably is somewhere else, like your family, or your future family, or your work. Maybe you're called to do to spread the love of the Lord in your work, and that's your mission office. I don't know. Regardless, our mission is always with God. So whatever that is, whether it's the Mission Volunteer Program or not, go for it. Run with it. Live it. Yeah.
Literally, this was an ambush. She did not know. No.
I have my hair up. Oh my gosh, I never have my hair up.
No, we've basically just told her to like
Put makeup on. Yeah.
Since Friday. That is it, everybody. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Do not do this at home, driving and filming. For professionals only.
Yep.
We're not professionals, but for the risk takers.
Yes.
Like an MD person. Thank you so much for watching. I know we've been away for a while, for a month. I know we have plans. It's just that February was just
Too crazy
for our schedules. Yeah. And I hope you guys have enjoyed, just like any other videos that we've had. If you guys have enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up and share this video to your friends who wants to become an MB, or even the outsiders who want to become missionaries.
Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always.
Yes, comment down below.
If you have any more questions,
Yeah, and
Do you have any questions?
reactions, watching. Go out and experience Christ. Bye!
We're almost home.